Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon. Today we will start the tuberculosis in children. I think this is the last lecture, and next time we will take a new topic. So, tuberculosis in children, TB is the chronic infectious disease caused by the Mycobacterium tuberculosis, and it can involve in the pulmonary as well the extrapulmonary involvement. If we look here the slides, the WHO declared globally is an emergency because of the tuberculosis, and one third world population is infected by the 2 millions, and 95% of the tuberculosis cases occur in the developing countries, and more than 8 million new cases of the tuberculosis occur every year globally. So, number one is the what are the host factors in which the tuberculosis is common. Number one, age. Any age which is not exempted. Tuberculosis हर एज में हो सकती है. But the most frequent infection occur in a pediatric age group is the children's, they are growing age, means they are more prone to develop the tuberculosis, but can occur in any age. Regarding the sex, TB occur in the both sex, but females are more prone during the pregnancy. Why? Because there are multiple reasons. Number one is due to mother who is pregnant. There is a decrease immunity of the mothers, so that can be vulnerable, not a risk factor, but vulnerable to acquire the tuberculosis. In pregnancy, the mothers are mostly they are malnourished, and the malnourished is the risk factor to can occur the tuberculosis. Malnutrition in children is also can develop the tuberculosis due to what is the reason? The reason is same due to decreased immunological response in children. If a patient who has immunodeficiency syndrome like HIV or baby on the nephrotic syndrome and put on the steroids, baby in steroids, any type of these steroids can lower the immunity of the baby, and they are vulnerable to develop the tuberculosis. If babies have intercurrent infections, suppose a baby have a measles, baby have a pertussis, they are develop the tuberculosis because there is a decrease cell mediate immunity. So these are also risk factors for the tuberculosis. The tuberculosis, if you see this is the epidemiology, approximately 3 million people die each year globally, means worldwide 3 millions. This is the old data, but recently it also increased more than 3 millions. And almost 1.3 cases of the tuberculosis. And if you see here, the 4,50,000 deaths occur in children due to the tuberculosis in a year. What about the prevalence of the tuberculosis in Pakistan? If you assess the tubercle reaction is around about 2.8% in children whose age is 0.4 years. Tubercle skin test reaction 7.7% if a baby's age is 5 to 9 years. When baby is growing and age is growing, it is the incidence of prevalence of the tuberculosis increase. If a baby is 10 to 14 years, the 12.9% respectively, they can prevalence of the tubercular reactions. So, what is the resistance of the tuberculosis? This is the question. If a baby or if a child who is resistant for a single drug, this is the first line drug that is called the INH, in between about 16 to 40% is the resistance of tuberculosis. When a child who is resist from the INH or rifampicin, इसी में से किसी एक से resistance है, that is called as the resistance of the tuberculosis. Suppose you can say what is the MDR, multi drug resistant tuberculosis. A baby who are resist with INH and rifampicin. In both drugs के साथ, if a baby develop the resistance, that is called as the multi-drug resistance tuberculosis. What is the XDR? Number one definition is resistance of the tuberculosis, that is called the tuberculosis resistance. What is the MDR? And third category, that is called the XDR. XDR means a baby or the patient who is resistant from the first line to drugs and third line tuberculosis drugs, that called the XDR. So these are the definition of the tuberculosis. What is the cause of the TB? You know, tuberculosis caused by the Mycobacterium tuberculosis. इसका characteristics क्या है? Acid fast bacilla, non-sporing forming, non-motile, and if you look here, the grow on this is called the Janssen culture media, which is takes about 3 to 6 weeks. So these are the characteristic features of the Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Now, question is how tuberculosis is transmitted. Is it what are the transmission mode? So tuberculosis usually is an airborne disease. It also direct contact with the infected persons who is discharged, and rarely it can occur by the infected milk, and it also very rarely it can be transmitted by the skin, mucosa, mouth and the tonsils. So this is also called tuberculosis is the airborne disease. Airborne disease is the contact. If you look here in this pictures, the right side is affected of the tuberculosis bacilli. When this patient is coughing, there's a lot of the Mycobacterium tuberculosis expel out. The person who is close to this infected person also more prone to develop the tuberculosis. Number one, does child can spread infection to the adult? Answer is no. Why? Because this is a not forceful expiration. Forceful cough बच्चों में नहीं होती है, इस वजह से उसमें ये इतना forceful sputum नहीं निकलता. That's why they are less chances to spread the infection to the adult. Now, if you look here the pathogenesis, and we can say what is the primary complex, you already know in the pathology, 90% cases there is the entry directly from the portal entry into the lungs. Tuberculosis bacilli multiply initially in the alveoli, they can go into the alveolar duct and finally they can reach into the tissues. The most bacilli at that time they are killed, but some survive within a non-active form. and that can be engulfed by the macrophages. This is the immunological factor which carry these through lymphatic vessels, and they form that is called the primary hilar lymph nodes. The pathogenesis over the next 2 to 12 weeks, these organisms grow in the numbers and the tissue, and they form as a fourth hypersensitivity reaction can be developed. These parenchymal portion often heals completely by the form of the calcification or fibrose, and occasionally this portion enlarge and resulting in the focal that is called the pneumonitis and pleuritis. And after that, the foci of the infections in the regional lymph nodes develop some fibrose and encapsulated, but healing is usually less complete, and there is a parenchymal lesions, and this bacilli can be viable, जिंदा रह सकता है, persistent even in the decades and in the form of the foci. So reactive tuberculosis हो सकती है because of the reactive tuberculosis हो सकती है because this bacilli can persistent in decades, and they are in the form of foci. This is also during the development of primary complex. TB bacilli are carried by the most of the tissue of the body through the blood and lymphatics. They can go into the brain, can develop the tuberculosis meningitis. They can go into the kidney and they can form the tuberculosis of the kidney. They can go into the bones and they form the tuberculosis of the bone. This is about 25 to 30% children can be affected. What are the primary? This is the questions usually asked in the Viva. What are the primary site of the tuberculosis? Answer is number 1. The primary site of the tuberculosis is the lung. Number 2, skin. Number 3, eye. Number 4, intestine. Number 5, tonsils. And number 6 is the placenta. These are the 6 sites of the primary tuberculosis. Please remember, brain, kidney and the bone are not a primary site of the tuberculosis. This is a especially question asked in the Viva in the final year. So you should remember, please, the primary site are the 6. Number 1 is the placenta. Number 2 is the skin. Number 3 is the lungs, eye, intestine and the tonsils. And the lymph nodes, lymph nodes is also primary site of the tuberculosis. Now, question is, what are the intrathoracic tuberculosis and what are the extrathoracic tuberculosis? The intrathoracic tuberculosis are further classified. Number 1 is the primary infection. Number 2, progressive pulmonary disease. पहले primary infection था, fibrosis हुआ, means progressive. Third is the miliary tuberculosis. Now we will discuss what is the miliary tuberculosis and what is the difference between the miliary tuberculosis as well as the disseminated tuberculosis. These are the 2 definitions. And third category, fourth category, this is the intratuberculosis, thoracic tuberculosis called the pleural effusion. Now again I can repeat this. What are the intrathoracic tuberculosis? Number 1 is the primary tuberculosis. That is called the primary infection. Number 2, progressive pulmonary disease, means progressive to the primary complex, develop the infections, blood through the lymphatics. Number 3, when these tubercle bacilli spread through the blood or the lymphatics, they can go and form the miliary tuberculosis, and finally they can form as a, sometimes patient can present with a pleural effusion. So these are the intratuberculosis. What are the extra thoracic tuberculosis? Extrathoracic tuberculosis are number one, the TB of the superficial lymph nodes. Number two, tuberculosis of the brain, means you can say this is the TB meningitis. Tuberculosis of the abdomen, tuberculosis of the skeletal, means TB of the bone. Tuberculosis in the kidney, that is called the renal tuberculosis, and tuberculosis of the skin. So these are the extra thoracic tuberculosis. Is it clear? ये सही क्लियर हो गया? हेलो?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we are going to definition and usually ask what is the miliary tuberculosis and what is the disseminated tuberculosis. There is a lot of difference between both definitions. Please remember, miliary tuberculosis is the form of the hematogenous spread of the tubercle bacilli. Through this, if you look here in the same slides, the bacilli can carry by the most of the tissue of the body, blood and the lymphatics. When this is the hematogenous, through the blood spread, and they can involve the extensive parts of the body, that is called, and when you see the X-ray shows as a miliary mottling of the lungs, means जैसे दाने होते हैं, multiple दाने आपको नजर आए, that is called the miliary tuberculosis. What are the presentations? Patient can present with the hepatosplenomegaly. When you examine the baby can present with the splenomegaly, hepatomegaly, and most of commonly seen in the infant and young children. बड़े बच्चों में कम होता है मिलियरी ट्यूबरकुलोसिस, छोटे बच्चों में ज्यादा होता है. Onset of this miliary tuberculosis is a sudden. Sometimes patient can present with high grade fever, patient can present with the growth failure, patient can present with the night sweat, patient can present with the myalgia or arthalgia. So what is the disseminated tuberculosis? Now second definition. The disseminated tuberculosis is the same clinical presentation. They are carried by the tubercle bacilli through the lymphatics, through the blood. And what is different between both definition? In the disseminated tuberculosis, there is a no miliary mottling in the lungs, but patient can present with the hepatomegaly, patient can present with the splenomegaly, patient can present with the high grade fever, sudden onset, and mostly they are present in the young infant children. So you can differentiate both definition, miliary tuberculosis and disseminated tuberculosis. Is it clear? Now, what are the clinical features of the tuberculosis? Please remember, always ask in the exam, but you can ask the examiner which tuberculosis. If a patient who is present with TB meningitis, what are the clinical presentations of the TB meningitis? The tuberculous meningitis, usually patient can present, and this is the increased risk of the high mortality. And if you not treat immediately, please remember patient can be died. And this is the medical emergency. You can give the aggressive life-saving management. The onset of this disease, patient can present with the fever, patient can present with the headache, vomiting, and when you do the examine of the central nervous system of this baby have a neck stiffness, and they are present with the Kernig signs, and bruises signs was present, and planters are upgoing. When you do the CSF of this baby for the diagnosis. The CSF will show their increased amount of the proteins. Glucose may be low or normal, but the cells are usually lymphocytes. So, if a patient who is present with this type, the complication of this tuberculous meningitis in infant, in young child, they are present with the hydrocephalus. And the hydrocephalus of this type is an obstructive hydrocephalus, and in which there is outflow obstructions. So please remember, the hydrocephalus occur in the TB meningitis is called as the obstructive hydrocephalus. But the other condition that is called the hydrocephalus, like congenital hydrocephalus, is called by the non-obstructive form. If a patient who is present with you with the history of prolonged history of the fever, and baby have a focal signs of the meningitis, headache, vomiting, photophobia, you think about the other differential diagnosis of this baby, like brain abscess, brain tumor, and sometimes you will say is very rare form, you can say headache cyst, but if a history have any sort out. Number two, the tuberculosis that is called the TB of the lymph nodes, that is called the lymphadenitis, tuberculosis of the lymphadenitis. So usually occur in the cervical and supraclavicular lymph nodes. The common site of the tuberculosis of the lymph nodes is the cervical and supraclavicular lymph nodes. Initially, the affected lymph nodes are discreted, mobile, and non-tender. Non-tender. And sometimes you will feel mated together. But while in the leukemia or the lymphoma, the lymph nodes are non-mated. Sometimes you will find as a tender, and sometimes they are mobile, but in the tuberculosis, they are mated lymph nodes, non-tender, and you will feel they are mobile. How to diagnose TB lymphadenitis? Answer is the excisional biopsy. If you advise for FNA, sometimes you will get as a false positive or false negative result. So you should not advise to the patient if you suspect TB lymphadenitis. You can never advise FNA biopsy, but you can advise to the baby as an excisional biopsy, and then you can send for culture and histopathology. Now, if a patient who is present with the lymphadenopathy, what are the other differential diagnosis will be considered at the time of the examination? You will diagnose made a differential. Number one is the pyogenic abscess, because they are present with the, if a patient who is present with pyogenic abscess of the lymph nodes, they are tender, they are red, and when you touch they are painful. So this can be differentiated. Number two, leukemia is usually present with generalized lymphadenopathy, usually not involved in the they can involve the cervical and the supra lymph nodes, but other lymph nodes should be examined at the time of the examination. You can assess the axillary lymph nodes, inguinal lymph nodes of the baby, and simultaneously you can palpate the spleen and the liver. And sometimes, because this is a disease of the bone marrow suppression, so patient can present with the other symptoms, like sometimes baby can present with the joint pain, baby can present bruises and petechia because bone marrow suppression. So you should think about this type of the differential diagnosis. Now, third differential diagnosis of lymphadenitis, you can lymphoma. The usual common lymphoma in the pediatric age group is non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Hodgkin's lymphoma usually occur in the adult group of the age, but the pediatric age group usually occurs as a non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. They are discrete and they are not mated, and there is a multiple lymph nodes in the inguinal lymph nodes, axillary lymph nodes, cervical lymph nodes, and the patient is a sick looking, so you make a third differential diagnosis if a patient comes with you when there is a lymphadenitis. Now, third category of the clinical features of the TB abdomen. This is the common primary cause of the tuberculosis in the pediatric age group, and usually the most common site of the abdominal tuberculosis occur in the terminal ileum and usually focus of the infection. Now you can categorize of narrow this. The most common site is the called as the cecum. Cecum is the most common cause of the tuberculosis, or that is called the ileocecal wall. So what are the presentation of a baby who is suspected tuberculosis of the abdomen? They are present with the abdominal pain and there is swelling, weight loss, prolonged history of the fevers, and sometimes patient can present with intestinal obstructions or without intestinal obstruction. When you examine the abdomen of this baby, when you suspect tuberculosis of the abdomen will be found as a dewy on palpation. Dewy, पता है आपको dewy abdomen की feelings क्या होती है? आटा गूंदना आता है ना, जैसे आटा गूंदते हैं. Is it clear? जैसे आटा गूंदते हो आप लोग, this is the feelings of the dewy abdomen. And how to diagnose of the tuberculosis of the abdomen? It is very difficult because culture is usually take a time. So you can send a ascitic fluid for a DR, and sometimes you will find as a positive but strong history of the tuberculosis in the family and baby is a sick looking. You can think about this is the highly suspicious of the tuberculosis. Now, if you are working in the good setup, so you can advise to the patient for the endoscopy and the laparoscopic biopsy, and you can send for this culture and sensitivity. How you make a differential diagnosis if a baby who is present with the male absorption syndrome? The usually tuberculosis occur with the male absorption like diarrhea, prolonged history of the diarrhea. Now you can consider of this baby can present. If a baby is less than 5 years, you will consider as a celiac disease, cystic fibrosis, lymphoma of the abdomen can cause the prolonged history of the diarrhea, failure to thrive, fever, malaise, weight loss. So you will consider if a baby is more than 5 years, you should be consider inflammatory bowel diseases like Crohn's disease, usually present with the abdominal pain. Patient can present with the diarrhea. But you know, this is the disease of the autoimmune. So it can involve in the multiple organs in the body, like joint can be involved, skin can be involved, and sometimes patient can present with the blood in the stool. So you should think about the other differential diagnosis in your mind when you make a diagnosis tuberculosis of the abdomen. But you can exclude according to your history, your clinical examination, and you can advise for the lab of the diagnosis. Now, renal, I am not going detail to the renal tuberculosis because this is a very uncommon in the pediatric age group. So I am not wasting time on the renal tuberculosis. No doubt, tuberculosis of the bone and joint is the common presentation when there is a hematogenous spread of the tuberculosis. So mostly the involvement of the joint is especially 50% patients can be involved is the spine, and you will see in the spine that is called as the port disease, and most common involved is the knee. But please, one should remember at this moment, if a baby who's present with a single joint, if there is a multiple joint pain, never consider tuberculosis. This is the key message for your diagnosis. If a baby has a single joint involvement, suppose knee joint is a single, left or right, knee joint, and there is a prolonged history of the pain, fever, and sometimes you when examine the knee and baby have a discharge, please remember, think about the tuberculosis until proven. I'm not say 100% tuber, but think about the tuberculosis because TB is more common than other diseases. And where baby who's present with the pain in the spine and there is a bulging in the spine, cervical spine, think about the disease of the tuberculosis of the spine, and the 50% patient can present with that is called the pod disease. Now, if a baby who is a single joint involvement, think about the osteomyelitis of the joint. But please remember, in the osteomyelitis, there is a short history of the fever, sometimes history of the trauma. So you will take a history, and there is a very short history. There is not weight loss, and this is a on examination. There is a no any discharge, or when you examine, there is a tender hot, and there is a limitation of the movements. Now, the third differential diagnosis will be consider a baby who is present with the joint pain, that is called the arthritis, that is called the septic arthritis. Sometimes you make a baby who is present with the joint pain and they are present with the septic arthritis, and there is a short history of the fever, and this is the pain. Third, you will be considered as this baby can be cellulitis. Cellulitis means inflammation around the area, and they are red, limitation of the movements, so this can be considered. So please remember, I am not going detail to other diseases, but the common diseases of related with the tuberculosis usually we see in the pediatric emergency. Number one is TB meningitis, number two is the TB abdomen, number three is TB lymphadenitis, and third category, that is fourth category, that is called the TB of the bone, and the most common involvement of the spine, that is called the pod disease. Pod disease is the common presentation of the TB spine. TB pericarditis, very rare, very rare. You will never consider in the pediatric age group, but rare presentation, they are present with the pericardial rub, and sometimes they are present with the pericardial effusion. Now, question is that if a baby whose prolonged history of the fever, baby have weight loss, baby have a family history of the tuberculosis, and when you do the echocardiography of this baby, and you will find as a pericardial effusion. So please you think about the one should cause of the tuberculosis. Is it clear? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, clear.
Now, what are the other clinical features of the pulmonary tuberculosis? 70 to 75% cases of the tuberculosis are pulmonary. हमारे पास 25% रहते हैं, they are extra pulmonary. So most of the time, most primary site of the tuberculosis is the lung. Lung is the primary site of the tuberculosis, and 70 up to the 75% TB occur in the pulmonary. Remaining 25 to 30%, they are extra pulmonary tuberculosis in children, and if you look here, the 50% there is an extra pulmonary adult. So range of the extra pulmonary tuberculosis is common in the pediatric age group. Please remember, common in the pediatric age group, but the most common age in the pediatric is a infant and young child. Means children's growing 5 to 6 years is the common age. Majority of the children with tuberculosis, they are develop no signs, no symptoms. So question is how to diagnose tuberculosis in the pediatric age group? How to diagnose tuberculosis in the pediatric age group? What is the answer? Answer is difficult to assess. because tuberculosis is a difficult dilemma to diagnose in the pediatric age group, because there is a no clear-cut diagnostic criteria for the tuberculosis in the pediatric age group. आप बड़ों को देखा होगा, दे कैन स्प्यूटम सेंड करते हैं फॉर कल्चर एंड सेंसिटिविटी, लेकिन बच्चों में इस तरह की कोई चीज नहीं होती. तो हाउ टू डायग्नोज, इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट डिलेमा टू डायग्नोज इन द पीडियाट्रिक एज ग्रुप इज द ट्यूबरकुलोसिस. So how we can diagnose? We can diagnose some criteria. Number one is the family history of the contact of the tuberculosis. You will consider this baby have a tuberculosis suspect. Number 2, baby have a failure to thrive. Number 3, BCG scar is absent. Number 4, baby have a history of the prolonged history of the fever, prolonged history of the abdominal diarrhea. So these are considered presumed tuberculosis, and you can advise the empirical treatment. No clear-cut diagnosis, 100% diagnosis of the tuberculosis, but you can presume these are the criteria. That's why you can keep this baby the tuberculosis. Occasionally, infect and marks, sometimes low-grade mild cough will be occur, but it is very difficult. Clinical features of the pulmonary tuberculosis, rarely they are present with high grade. Some cases can present high grade fever, but the high grade fever is the not classical presentation of the tuberculosis of the pediatric age group. Cough, malaise, these are the viral-like infections. At this moment, I already told you, difficult to diagnose tuberculosis. What are the different presentation of the pulmonary tuberculosis? When you do the X-ray of these babies, when you presume this baby have a tuberculosis, there is a hilar or paratracheal lymph nodes enlargement. And sometimes when you see the X-ray, there is a collapse of one side or the both sides of the lungs. You think about the tuberculosis, but collapse can be occur in the foreign body, collapse can occur in the pneumonia. But history once again help in your diagnosis. Number second, consolidation. Consolidation can occur because of the tuberculosis, but can occur in the pneumonia. Consolidation can occur in the foreign body. So it is very difficult to differentiate on X-ray. But the helping tool for the diagnosis of the tuberculosis in the pediatric age group with the history and the examination. Endobronchial tuberculosis, segmental collapse. If a baby X-ray shows there is segmental collapse, but segmental collapse can occur in the collapse due to the foreign body. How you can differentiate? You cannot be 100% say this is a tuberculosis, but consider tuberculosis, but other differential diagnosis should be in your mind. Pillular effusion. Always think about the unilateral pillular effusion. Please remember, sometimes patient can present the bilateral pillular effusion, and they are present with the other diseases. Sometimes you will see the pillular effusion bilaterally. Nephrotic syndrome. If a baby have ascites, you can find in the chronic liver disease. But sometimes you will find a unilateral pillular effusion. One cause should be considered as a tuberculosis. Pneumothorax. Pneumothorax also can cause one cause of the tuberculosis, but think about the other causes. Lastly, I was already before this slides, I will discuss with you the miliary tuberculosis will be considered when there is a mottling of the tuber bacilli present in the lungs, and when you examine the baby and there is a hepatosplenomegaly, you can think about this is a miliary tuberculosis. So therefore, the specific clinical features depend upon the type of the presentation. Please remember, the specific clinical features of the TB depends upon the presentation. What are the presentation? Baby can present with the abdominal presentation. Baby can present with the lymph node discharge. Baby can present with the meningitis. So it depends upon the type of the presentation. Now, if you look here, this picture, what is the classical picture of this will show what is your diagnosis? क्या हो सकता है जी? आप लोग हैं या चले गए? यस, आवाज आ रही है, ठीक है. इफ आपको ये पिक्चर्स नजर आ रही है, पिक्चर्स नजर आ रही है आपको?
यस सर.
ये क्या है?
यस सर.
This is called as the TB lymphadenitis. The most common involvement of the lymph nodes is the cervical and supraclavicular lymph nodes. I was already show you in a slides previously. This is called as the supraclavicular lymph nodes, and this is the primary site of the tuberculosis. This is the axillary lymph nodes. This is a very rarely presentation of the tuberculosis, but should be considered of the TB lymphadenitis. Now look here, this is the, what about this picture shows? जी, ये क्या नजर आ रहा है?
Pott's disease.
Pott's disease.
Pott's
Very good.
disease.
50% patient of the tuberculosis of the spine, they are present in the spot disease. This is called the spot disease. अच्छा, ये आप याद रखें और इस पिक्चर को भली आप कैप्चर करें. दिस विल शो इन दी वाइवा स्पॉटिंग जो होती है, दे विल ऑलवेज शो यू दिस टाइप ऑफ द पिक्चर. कभी कभी ये दिखाते हैं आपको. नाउ इफ यू लुक हियर, दिस इज द पिक्चर ऑफ दिस चाइल्ड. This is a very, very emaciated child. And if you look here, there is a prominence of the rib cage. There is a no muscle mass of this child. You will appreciate this is the classical presentation of the TB. But please remember, this type of the presentation can occur in the malnutrition, can occur in the HIV infection, can occur in the immunodeficiency, even in the babies who are neglected. So these are the multiple differential diagnosis regarding this X-ray. Sorry, this picture. You will also consider this baby is also neglected. TB, yes, number 1, HIV, number 2, immunodeficiency, number 3, malnutrition, number 4, sometimes the patient can present with the malignancy, also will be considered of this bone cage, loss of the muscle mass, and there is a wasted baby. What about this? This is the tuberculosis of bone, and usually you can see this is the involvement of the single bone, not a multi bone, and you will appreciate this is the involvement of the single bone, and this is the classical presentation of the TB of the lymphadenitis. Now, the most common, that is primary tuberculosis. Second category, that is the TB meningitis. So what are the stages of the TB meningitis? Number 1 is the stage 1. The patient can present with the irritable anorexia, and sometimes they are present with the personality disorders. This is the TB meningitis. This is the first stage. There are 3 stages of the TB. Number 2, sometimes patient can present the focal neurological signs. Sometimes they are present cranial palsy. Sometimes patient can present with the seizures, sometimes patient can present with the hemiplegia, and sometimes they are present with the ischemia. This is the second stage. And the third stage of the baby who are present TB meningitis, they get third stage. They are present loss of consciousness, coma. Sometimes they are present with the neck rigidity. And when you do the examination of eye, they are present with the pupil edema. Now, how to diagnose? How to diagnose tuberculosis? Answer is very difficult, very difficult. Sometimes lab history will support your diagnosis. But what you confirm, it is very difficult. Please remember. So first of all, you can do the CBC. Unrelevant, not necessary. You can diagnose tuberculosis on reactive lymphocytosis. ESR raised, you can say not diagnosis. Now you can do the empty test, Montauk's test. What is Montauk's test? This is the 5 unit प्यूरिफाइड प्रोटीन्स 0.1 ml हम इंट्राडर्मल लगाते हैं. कहाँ लगाते हैं? वो आर्म पे लगाते हैं. हाउ टू रीड आफ्टर 72 आवर्स. What is the induration? More than 10 is positive. If induration is more than 10 millimeter आ जाता है तो you think about this is tuberculosis. Less than 5 is negative. Between 5 to 10 is a doubtful. Sometimes the MT can be positive. ये इम्तिहान में कभी पूछते हैं MT, what is the MT false positive? MT can be false positive in tuberculosis, and also you can assess in the lymph nodes or lymphoma, leukemia patient on the site as this is the steroid, so they can found as a false positive negative. This is a very rare HEAF test, multiple puncture test इसका नाम है. ये test है. What is the routine BCG and diagnostic BCG? Routine BCG वो होता है जो बच्चों में बर्थ पे लगाते हैं, और routine diagnostic BCG क्या है? When MT is negative, 0.5 ml intradermal, positive rate is 72 to 96% होता है, and MT test is 46%. Very sensitive है, reliable है, and you can do patient who suspected TB. X-ray, what is the findings in X-ray? X-ray should be found as any consolidation, segmental collapse, lymphadenopathy, and this is a very rare test you can perform. Culture, gastric lavage previously we done, but there is no PCR, no doubt, which is the costly we can do here. And this is the antibody detection test. This is the now rapid test how people are doing here, and sometimes it as a biochemical marker. These are the very rare. This is the empty test. How to you can give this is a tuberculosis skin 0.1 unit by international purified proteins. This is the MRI of 7 years old baby present with the gibbous formation, and that is called gibbous. That is called the tuberculosis. This is the consolidation of the right lung. You see, this is because of the tuberculosis. This is the involvement of the upper lobe of the right lung, and this is also one cause of the tuberculosis. This is the hilar lymphadenopathy. This is the white mediastinum. Please remember, in this X-ray you will make a different diagnosis. White mediastinum should be considered a lymphoma, leukemia, in thymoma, but you will consider tuberculosis. This is a test What is the treatment? This is the first line treatment is drugs name. You should remember only the name. Rifampicin, isoniazid, presenamide, streptomycin is now excluded, and the third, fourth is the ethambutol. So you should remember four drugs: rifampicin, isoniazid, presenamide, and ethambutol. Yes, you can remember the doses, but you should name the first line drug. What is the second line drugs? These are the second line drugs. Number one is the ethanamide, kanamycin, capromycin, para-aminosalicylic acid, and cyclosporin. Treatment in the three different situations: classical tuberculosis, tuberculosis of meningitis, tuberculosis in pregnancy, and tuberculosis of congenital tuberculosis. How to prevent? Prevention is the better than treatment. Number one is the prevention tool is the case finding. जो भी आप tuberculosis का केस फाइंड करें उसको ट्रीट करें. नंबर वन प्रिवेंशन. नंबर टू टेस्टिंग ऑफ द हाई रिस्क ग्रुप. आपके घर में कोई बच्चा या कोई एडल्ट मिलता है, आपको ग्रुप है, आप उसको टेस्ट करें. नंबर थ्री वैक्सीनेशन ऑफ द बेबी. डज BCG वैक्सीन प्रिवेंट tuberculosis? Answer is no. Does BCG vaccine prevent tuberculosis? Answer is no. Because BCG can prevent the disseminated tuberculosis like TB meningitis, TB miliary tuberculosis, but does not prevent the pulmonary tuberculosis. Number four, testing of the high risk pregnant woman. Prophylactic drugs should be given if where there is a suspect of tuberculosis. Reduction of the environment factors leading to increase risk of the tuberculosis and enhance the immunity of the baby given nutrition. Now, question is number one is can a mother pass TB to the children? Answer is yes. This is the question paradox. Can a mother pass TB to the child? Answer is yes. How mother to child transmit TB may occur in utero through the hematogenous spread through the umbilical vein. Number one. Number two, embryo or the baby in the utero can aspirate or swallow the infected amniotic fluid. Number three, during the antepartum period, through the contact with infected amniotic fluid and genital secretions, can develop the TB of the child. So these are the reasons if a mother can pass the TB to the children. So please remember, does mother can pass the TB to the children? Answer is yes. And these are the three reasons. What are the three types of the TB? What are the three types of the TB? There are three types of TB. Number is the active TB, tuberculosis of the miliary, and latent tuberculosis means they will take a decades. Active means tuberculosis are present, you are treating. Miliary, when you do the X-ray, you will find as a miliary tuber, and latent means it will take decades for the tuberculosis. Is the milk good for the TB patients? Answer is yes. Daily consumption of milk and milk products is also beneficial to the tuberculosis of the patient. This is the exercise of the question and answers. Who is at a high risk for the TB? Number one, person with HIV infection, person on the steroid drugs, person were infected with the mycobacterium tuberculosis within the past 2 years, or the risk of the TB, particularly infant and young children. So these are the high risk. Number one is the HIV, immunosuppressive drugs. Patient that are suffering from the leukemia or the lymphoma, or the patient have a tuberculosis last 5 years. Can a child be born with a TB? Yes, 50% children born mother with active pulmonary tuberculosis disease during the first year of life. And if you suspect TB, chemoprophylaxis should be given or BCG vaccine is not given. Please remember, this is the questions asked in them. Can be TB transmitted through the breast milk? Answer is no. Transmission of the TB through the breast milk does not occur. So if a mother have a TB, should breastfeed their babies. Thank you very much for your